Hi, everyone, and welcome to Emily Talks To. We made it, baby. We're here. I want to take you on a journey with me and talk to the people that make up the fabric of this country. Don't get me wrong. Do I want to interview Drake one day? Absolutely. Am I delusional enough to think that I have a chance with him? Yeah. And you can't tell me otherwise. But I am here to show you what everyone else has to say. And realize that, you know what? Everyone poops. And everyone wants to be heard and seen and loved. And so for the first episode, this was a good one. I just had an incredible chat with a magician. And I'll say this, I'm horned up. I'm horned up. There is something so inherently sexy about, sexy is a real cringy word, about a man who can do magic. And he will just reinforce that in this episode. Now, I'm going to ask that you guys be a little patient with me because didn't realize that my camera turned off every 5 minutes. And I forgot to record the audio in the beginning. So we're off to a bit of a rocky start. But he was a trooper. And I know you will be too. So buckle up and welcome to Emily Talks To. All right, everyone. Today is a very special day. We have a real life magician with us. And I'll tell you this right off the bat. He's hot. And I find that that is something that magicians aren't usually. It's kind of one or the other.
Chris Angel.
Well, sure. But what is he doing now?
He's selling out every single night in Las Vegas.
And is that something that you...
That's not, no, I don't want to be Chris Angel.
Okay.
But I agree there are certain types of magicians.
Okay.
That's true. Can we just say what happened, you think?
So, okay, that was actually a really good theater moment.
Yeah.
So we just were probably like 4 minutes in and it was strong.
So good.
It was really, really strong. And I realized I wasn't even recording the audio. And so right now we just tried to bamboozle you and
we've already had that conversation.
Again. Yeah. So
I think it landed.
It did. And this is a lesson of patience and of growth and of God.
And of surrender. Which
we were
God.
just talking about.
We were just talking about God.
So what I learned was Sweet Will here was born late in life when he was 3. And what I realized is actually he was born late in his parents' life.
It's not late in my life.
Right.
Which is, I think, how I've been saying that always. So hopefully people have not thought, or hopefully they have thought,
right,
that I was born older.
Sure. And you might have. Because I feel like magicians are born, like we were just talking about a little bit of nature versus nurture. I feel like maybe there's like a magician gene. Who knows?
A mystery gene.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think it came into, because I was a mistake, or as my mom likes to say, a blessing.
A blessing.
In her sweet Southern accent.
Right. Right.
So were
they religious?
They were, yes. So they were very religious. Okay. I was also, I would say, evangelical.
Okay.
Up until I was about 21.
Wow.
Still a seeker. Okay. Certainly. And God is actually a big part of my show. Well, I mean, not actually, but surrender, the concept of surrender.
I bet he loves it. I bet he loves showing up. Or she.
Or they.
Oh. And that's on 2023.
Let's go.
Wow. Okay. So then how did this even start? Like, what was the...
Magic.
Yeah.
So I was born late in my parents' lives. Okay. And my mom it was always me and my mom and I. My dad was out of town a lot. And we would always just play things. Like, she was so into playing like sock puppets and acting out things and all this shit. I can say shit.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay, great.
Yeah.
And then we moved a ton when I was a kid. So I'm from the South. I'm from Georgia.
Okay.
I was born in Georgia, but then I moved to Texas when I was 6 months old.
Both places love God.
Love God.
Of the Jesus varietal.
Love him.
Yeah.
And moved around in that state every couple of years. So I really had a hard time keeping friends in
Right.
the middle of middle school and all this. So I saw a magician. Well, there's two things. My dad do one card trick, and I remember him doing it.
Okay.
Three things. My friend's sister, my sister's friend, Jim Childs, showed me this.
Ooh, okay. The little thumb off the knuckle trick.
Thumb off the knuckle trick.
Yeah. And I feel like that was how you got someone to like you as a kid.
Oh, 100%.
That had so much strength.
Totally. Power.
I'm wet thinking about it. So I think if you brought that into a show now, there would be a lot of nostalgia.
Yeah. Are you saying I should bring it back?
Yeah.
Knuckle?
Yeah.
Maybe my own riff on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay.
So you...
And then I saw a magician on TV
Oh, and it was game over.
called Lance Burton.
Okay.
Who was also in Vegas for 14 years in the Monte Carlo, really old school tuxedo, making doves appear. And I said, holy shit, this is amazing. I want to go to Toys R Us and buy the magic kit and do this tonight for my parents.
Wow.
So that was really it. And then theater went hand in hand as well and kept going.
And you're here now.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a lot of ups and downs
Sure.
with it, but yes,
Sure.
I'm here now.
Well, and we do want to note also, we had Sweet Green
Yes.
right before this. So we're a little gassy.
Yep.
Hot Snakes will be happening in about 30 minutes, but we do want Sweet Green to sponsor us.
Both of us.
At the same time. And we also were talking about how Gandalf died.
Second Gandalf,
Second Gandalf died.
because the first one died while they were filming.
Oh, shame.
Do you remember that?
No.
Have you not seen Harry
I thought
Potter?
it was the same Gandalf.
No.
Are you sure?
I if you want to look it up, listeners at home, look it up to confirm.
Wow, they look the same.
So first one was an quite old British actor, both theater guys, and he died after the second film, I believe.
Okay.
And then Michael Gambon, is that his name, who died? I think that's his name. Another huge stage actor in England died today. And Hagrid's dead.
And how are you? Is that sitting really heavy on your heart today?
I mean, I was saying, Harry Potter, of course, played a big part in my life, but not so much towards magic. I just remember my mom reading the books.
Okay.
Maybe subconsciously.
Okay.
I did do a men's pageant in high school. Mr. Irresistible.
Lots to unpack.
Where I was forced to do it, basically.
Okay.
And my act,
By whom?
because I was representing the drama club.
Okay.
And they really wanted the representative. And I was senior year. I was feeling hot, senior year Will.
Yeah.
And I did do a Harry Potter themed act, a wizard act. From what I remember. I
bet
remember
it was strong.
It was funny.
Yeah.
I had I was like on a broomstick, I had a beard, I had wizards with me. Wow. And I was a finalist, I just want to say.
Well, and that checks out. But do you feel like Harry Potter was like a good representation for the community?
For the magic community?
Yeah.
I think it did well in the fantasy and mystery of the world community. Just like, wow, what is this new Narnia, Chronicles of Narnia too? Like all that sort of magical.
Yeah. Adding a little zest.
Yeah, like maybe there's something more.
Right.
What if there was something more?
Is that what drew you into magic, knowing that there is kind of this other world? Is magic another world, or is it just bamboozling all of us?
It's a lot to unpack. First question, I would say no. I would say it was actually the power play of I feel insecure in school. I'm doing magic. I feel...
Jesus Christ. Okay, so the camera also just shut off. So I don't know if this is part of the magic trick.
Yes.
And everything is actually going to come together really well. But we're here.
We were talking about...
the whimsy of the world.
Yes.
So,
you asked me if the mystery got me into it, right?
Yeah.
And then also if it's fake.
Yeah.
So the mystery didn't initially, but I would say it keeps me in it now, which is interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't really... I think I'm evolving, as we all do as an artist, in that it's not filling that role of safety for me.
Right.
You know,
Right.
which is becoming a little interesting to grow into a different area. You know,
Are you saying because it was more of like a survival thing when you were a kid?
Yes.
To be liked.
And
or
now I
fit
feel
in
a little
or-
more, not like I'm the best, but a little more secure. And I have other curiosities and other things I want to do in art and creativity. So it's a little interesting evolutionary period right now. Evolving
I love
period.
it.
Yeah.
So what is your type of magic? And maybe there's multiple types.
Yeah.
Like what would a show look like for you?
So a show is much more, I would say, my friend who's also co-creator, director, has helped me a lot. He would call it theatrical magic. He's not a magician. He's more of a director.
Okay.
And the last show I did that I toured for a little bit was called Magic Happens in the Dark, which sounds like it could be about sex.
Yeah, that's naughty.
Which I liked.
Okay.
I liked, right?
Probably got in a real perverted crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All like in leather and
Sure.
yeah,
The seats were wet.
wet seats.
Yeah. That makes sense.
It wasn't about sex, but it was about magic getting me through life and those tough times as a kid and health and everything.
Right.
So it was a lot more of a story than hey, pick a card, any card.
Pulling a bunny out of a hat.
Right,
The whole.
right.
Okay.
And I think it was received well for the most part. I was really proud that I think it was the first step in what I've been trying to accomplish. First step in that direction.
Right.
And
So it's fulfilling
it's fulfilling.
because there's a little depth to it.
Yeah.
We're getting to know you.
I don't have a lot of interest in, not that this is a bad thing. This is not what I'm interested in being headlining in Las Vegas or America's Got Talent.
And why not? What's like the connotation?
Because that
of
feels like
a sellout.
the Will in middle school, which I'm kind of just piecing together now.
Okay, so this is a therapy session.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right now, I mean, I think look, if someone was like, I want you to headline at the Win, I would say yes, of course.
Sure.
But in my own way, right? I wouldn't want to make it
Okay.
Chris Angel's show.
Okay.
Not to knock that. It's just different types of genres.
There was a magic trick that Chris Angel did that still haunts me to this day.
On Mind Freak.
I saw it on YouTube when I was far too young. And I can feel the sweet green coming up my esophagus.
It's what he does. It's what he does. Yeah.
There was a woman sitting on a bench.
Oh, okay.
Do you know which one I'm talking about?
I think.
Something where he like knocked on her abdomen and she literally hopped off her legs and then just started. It was literally like a torso, a neck, and a head. And she's in a park and she's running on her elbows while her legs are still sitting on the bench.
Yeah, he did some pretty wild stuff.
I'm like, is that magic?
It's well, what is magic?
You tell me.
You know, I mean that is, you're perceiving it as a certain thing and it's taking you kind of beyond the physical reality, right? Is that enough? Or I guess, is it enough to know just for it to be that? Or also it's probably TV magic.
Sure.
And probably an actress.
Sure.
Probably, you know.
Yeah, I guess who's the magician or the illusionist who did the show where he knew everybody picked a card in the beginning? Oh, do we hate him?
Love him.
We love him. What's his name?
Derek Delgadio.
Okay.
In and of itself.
How?
Did you see the show?
I did.
Live?
No, not that rich. But
Was that expensive?
Oh, I don't
I saw
know.
it in LA. It wasn't that expensive in LA before I went to New York.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Will's rich. Ladies,
Well,
if you want.
sure, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just another thing to add to the list.
Yeah.
So when you see that as a magician, for the viewers, this man put on a show that was so mind-blowing. I think it's on Hulu. Do you remember what it's called?
In and of itself, it's on Hulu.
Okay.
Yeah.
When everyone came in, they picked a card that had a descriptive noun.
I am something.
Yes. And whatever resonated with them. And at the end of the show, the magician, Michael, right? That's his
Derek.
name? Derek?
Same thing.
Where did I pull Michael?
Same old, you know.
Need to look into that. Michael gave me chlamydia once.
Shit.
He knew each person's card
Yep.
without seeing it.
Yeah,
Or did he see it? Like, as a magician, how do you think he did that?
I mean, that show to me, if I could talk about the show.
Yeah.
I saw it in 2016.
Okay.
Right when I graduated from college, theater major, sort of. Magic hadn't been the forefront in a while. And when I saw that show, it really made me think, oh, theater can exist in the world of magic.
Right.
So to me, it was a profound impact.
Because it is theatrical. It's deep.
I would say it's described as more of a play than a magic show to some people. It's interesting. Some people see it as different things, which I think is kind of the whole point of the show. I don't know if you remember the part where, and obviously I think it had more of an impact live.
I mean, people were sobbing.
Sobbing, right. There was a piece where someone's chosen and there's a letter written for them.
Bitch, the letter.
Yeah.
The letter.
So essentially, someone's chosen in the audience and the sort of mentioned, it's sorry, my phone keeps vibrating. I'm trying to disturb. There's someone in your life that has been that's important to you, that you haven't heard from in a long time. And they pick a letter and they open it up and it's written from them in their handwriting.
I don't get it.
And I don't know. It's so interesting. I think the whole point of the show is that wrestle of, you can see it however you want to see it.
Right.
Right. Do I know how it's done? Is that what your question was?
Like, because I'm the lay person.
Sure.
I'm the dum-dum who's like,
sure, this
is otherworldly. This man has superpowers.
Yeah.
But I feel like you can peek behind the curtain and kind of understand, like, or is it beyond?
I can peek behind the curtain to an extent, but I think the production as a whole I was blown away.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's the brick part too, where it appears in Los Angeles or New York City on the streets after the show.
You guys need to see this. It will blow your mind.
I mean, the thought and creativity and showmanship of that was otherworldly.
Yeah. Yeah. Shocking. So that's kind of something that you resonate with. Something with a little more a little more story.
Maybe a little bit funnier than that show.
Sure.
That show was a little sad.
Dark.
Yeah, a little one line, one note.
He had a furrowed brow for a lot.
And that was my critique of it on Hulu, because I remember seeing it live. I remember it being a bit more different levels, and it was very one note on Hulu and very sad.
Yeah.
And it's still beautiful.
Right. But you would have a little more glitter to it.
Yeah, I want to charm them a little bit.
Okay.
You're
a charmer.
I like to charm.
Yeah.
I like to charm.
No, makes sense. So what I want to do with you, which I'm going to do with every episode, I want to do a little word association.
Okay.
So I'm going to say a word, and you're going to tell me the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
It can be a word, it can be a phrase.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Abracadabra.
Wand.
David Blaine.
Oh shit. Dark.
Very dark under eye bags.
I didn't know we were going to do magic words, but this makes sense. Okay, I'm ready now. I'm locked in.
LA's Magic Castle.
Outdated.
Euthanasia.
I'm interested. for myself.
Sure. Pangea.
Pangea?
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Pangea.
Escape.
Ooh.
Yeah.
A couple things. David Blaine could spit roast me like a pig.
Yep.
Spread my ashes over the Pacific Ocean. Something about, and maybe it's the magic.
He's hot, is what you're saying.
He's hot.
Yeah.
But
more than Chris Angel.
Chris Angel gives me a little bit of the heebie-jeebies.
So yeah, I think that's interesting. 'Cause I think David Blaine, I respect him more.
Right.
So it's interesting.
Chris Angel seems like Vegas.
Yeah.
David Blaine is heaven.
Yeah.
He's who I'm going to see when I walk into heaven.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be put into heaven. I'll tell you that right now. I have a special place.
David Blaine was in the club with Leonardo DiCaprio, Tobey Maguire. I think they called it the Pussy Club.
Okay, so we have an insider scoop.
In the 90s. I think that's what it was called.
Is this the poker thing?
Where they'd like hook up with a bunch of women. Like they were just very scoundrels. Now,
Wish I was in that.
I would say check the source. I'm pretty sure he was.
Okay.
That's what I've heard. I mean, I know a lot about Mr. Blaine. But
we'll have to keep
incredible artist.
Okay.
And has so many good people around him, because all these magicians that are famous have consultants.
As in they do some of the magic, like they come up
They
with the tricks?
co-create with him. Yeah. For Blaine.
Interesting.
For his brand.
But they don't get the credit.
Oh, I'm sure they get paid.
Do you have people that help you, or is it just you?
It's just me.
Wow.
Theatrical. I mean, I have friends that I've rattled ideas off of, but I don't have any. I mean, theatrically I have help,
Right.
but I don't have like a consultant.
Damn. So they're like teams, magic teams. You can hear the Sweet Green coming up.
Me too. David Blaine is incredible. I mean, what he was able to do with a deck of cards in the 90s in the hood.
Sure.
You know, it was just a guy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's incredible. So.
Oh, and I don't understand how he can be underwater for like 7 days.
Right, and he does more than just card tricks. I mean,
Right.
he's which would you consider that magic? His stunts. I mean, they're.
I think that's probably just depression. Like that's just, I don't think there's enough Lexapro on this planet. Also, shout out to Lexapro. Would love for you to sponsor me as well.
Prozac.
Yep. Shout out. I want to pivot a little bit.
Pivot.
And I want to know, what is it like dating a magician? What, in your experience, do you use it to your advantage? Because I'll be honest, it's hot.
Okay, I'll tell you the truth.
Oh, uh-oh.
Yeah, I use it to my advantage.
Sure. It'd be a shame if you did.
I mean, I let's say if I'm on a dating app, I will sometimes put I'm a magician.
Sure.
Because it's interesting. It's a conversation starter.
And what do they say?
I mean, it's either it attracts people, or it, you know.
How would it deter?
Magic can be cheesy.
But I'm getting the vibe that yours isn't.
Yeah, but you don't know that when you see me on a hinge.
On a hinge.
A hinge.
Yep. So I'm gathering that you feel like in the dating world saying you're a magician helps.
I think it's a conversation. I don't know if it helps. I think it's a conversation starter.
Okay.
I mean,
do you do magic on dates?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so hot.
And I would tell someone, like, if we were on a date, I would say no, but I'm going to tell the truth.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is where we speak the truth from your heart.
Do I bring a deck of cards to every first date? Yes. Am I proud of that? Not really, but
no, that's incredible. What do you do?
Well, I don't always. I mean, I think it's read the room. You know, I don't always.
I think a lot of magicians don't have self-awareness, so this is another thing to your advantage.
Read the room. We're not gonna. Well, let me show you something. You know, usually it's a couple drinks in.
Okay,
right.
You're a little sauce. You're a little.
We're all
loose.
a little loosey goosey.
Yeah.
And it'll come up, and either they will ask me, "Let's see a trick," or I will offer.
Okay.
And I will say, it usually helps. It's always helped.
And do you use magic in the bedroom? Like, do you ask them, like, do you want to see it disappear?
You know, no.
Oh.
And I've had this conversation recently about, right, like, do you want to see my dick disappear?
Yeah.
And I don't do that.
Do you not want to see it disappear? Is that a deeper issue, you think? No, you want to see it disappear.
No, I'm fine with it disappearing.
Okay.
I just don't feel like, again, maybe it's a self-awareness thing.
Yeah.
I'm not doing, I'm not making cards appear out of her vagina. Her holes.
Right.
Which I will say.
You could do.
Recently, I have been to some sex parties.
Okay.
With a few friends of mine who are in that community.
Okay.
And I've done magic there. And I do think
you get invited as like the entertainment.
That's kind of the goal. But we've been going to these. My friend is a professional dominatrix. Who you should interview.
We need to chat with her, him, they.
And we've been kind of talking about what it could look like to do magic here and there. And there is an interesting thing there, I think. Sexy, kinky magic.
Yeah. Well, because I've seen with David Blaine, they like pull some out of their mouth.
Yeah. I do a mouth card trick.
Can you do it in a butthole? Or maybe in between the taint.
Yes.
They're like, reach down, and then it's the Queen of Hearts.
Yeah.
That could be hot.
Or I think what's interesting too about the kink community is like rope is a big part of it. Shibari. And so I think in rope magic, it's not something I do because it's to me it's a little not my type style, but
Okay.
it could be. We could figure something out there. And the whole trope of assistant and magician. That could be kinky, interesting.
Sure.
I do a lot of mouth. I do actually a lot of mouth
Stuff. And we love a man who does mouth stuff.
Yes.
Because I feel like now more than ever.
I do mouth stuff in the bedroom and with magic.
And I want to thank you for that.
Cheers.
I want to really thank you for that. Again, I just dated someone who didn't do mouth stuff. And he said that it's not his thing. And here's what I'm going to say to that. It's not for you.
Yeah.
Never was. Never will be.
Totally.
Shocking. Okay, so how do you get invited to a sex party? I dated a dad who would go to them, and all he would tell me were just these little anecdotes. One of them being this woman would go up to him and be like, turn me into a blueberry muffin. Like she wanted to be covered in bruises.
So I think there's certain levels of sex party. I've been to some pretty tame ones too.
And how do you get invited?
So my friend.
Oh, the dominatrix.
So the dominatrix. Her and another friend of mine who helps me with my work, we're all kind of curious about that world. And filled out an application and was approved. She was my referral.
You're not joking.
No.
You literally have to fill something out.
Yeah, because
do you have to do a headshot?
No, I'm surprised you don't. Probably in some.
Okay.
But you do include your social media.
Fascinating.
Yeah. So this one I mentioned. Oh, Sweet Green's coming up, guys.
Oh.
I'm gonna lean forward.
Shout out to the Harvest Bowl.
Yep.
Lots of fiber. Some may say too much.
I filled out an application, told them I was a magician, interested in doing kinky magic, and that I knew this person.
Okay.
And then I had to like send them a message on Instagram to verify, and I was in. Wow. And then you have to pay. It's like,
oh, you have to pay
like $70 or something. Yeah.
And
some of them are 10 grand.
You're lying.
There's one that I don't want to spill anyone's details out there, but there was one that I became aware of through some people, and it's literally 10 grand. I'm not that rich, folks. I'm not that.
Yet.
Right. And those are probably
that's shocking.
Those are some crazier ones.
Are the floors sticky all the time? Like,
do you want me to tell you what it was like?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's my first one.
Okay. And when was this?
This was not too long ago.
This is in LA.
In LA.
Okay.
In like an event space.
And what are you wearing?
Out. So it's a BDSM themed party.
Okay.
I'm not really involved in this community, so I don't have like a lot of
like assless chaps or something. Okay.
But my parents were swingers.
Oh my God.
And Christians. So we can get into that in a sec.
The God-loving swingers.
God, I hope they don't hear this.
They will.
No. I just hear the look of fear in my face.
Whoa.
They don't even know what a podcast is.
No. They don't need to.
So there's a lot of interesting things here, right?
Okay.
So I'm going as it's interesting, and I just wore all black, like with a jacket,
right,
chain, my necklace out, you know.
Yeah.
And I went with my friend, him and I went, and it was interesting going, like two men going, it was interesting, but we knew our friend was there working it. She was doming people.
Okay.
So we go in, and there's like a orientation, and you go in, and it's really not, it's like going into a bar. I mean, it was very like with like a hangout space, like dim lighting, but not crazy.
Okay.
People are dressed interestingly, hot, lingerie, some leather, some topless.
That would be me.
And then we go to an orientation, and it's all these rules, you know, which is great.
And what are the rules? Like you can't touch?
A lot about consent.
Okay.
You can touch if it's consensual.
Sure.
And the playroom, which is the fuck room.
And is there only one playroom? So is there like a line?
There's a big playroom. It's very big, not a line. Yeah.
That you can all kind of
sprawl out. So then you put on a light. It's pink or blue.
Okay.
If it's blue, you're just a spectator. If it's pink, you are open to playing.
Okay.
Doesn't mean you have to.
Okay.
I chose pink. So I'm open. Did not that night, but I was open.
Okay.
And then you walk around, and there's stations, like our friend who was dominating people in this like Twister thing, this game. There's shibari stations. There's I dommed a girl. There was a station with my friend. Crazy experience.
And are you generally more dominant or submissive?
I did not think this is where this was going.
And it is.
I would say I'm more dominant, but I would say I'm curious about switching, but not. I would say I'm probably more dominant.
Okay. What a cool space to just explore that.
Yeah, totally. And that's what was, I think, coming from a past of like sexuality and this darkness around my parents' past and having so much darkness surrounding that. And like, I don't want to be that. Being in an environment that was very open was healing in a lot of ways. And seeing people fucking around me and just normalizing it, a little uncomfortable at first, but you know, you just kind of, all right, this is what happens.
Yeah.
And no one's like creepy, really.
Well, that's gonna be my next question. Like, is there kind of like one kind of Jeremy looking fellow who maybe works at Verizon who's just like kind of ruining the vibe?
There was a Jeremy. There were a few Jeremys, but they were not like a guy you'd see at a club that's trying to hit on you.
Okay.
I think it's they do a really good job of maybe scoping out folks.
Right, beforehand.
And a good balance of gender all around.
Are you hard the whole time?
No, I mean, not much at all, really.
No.
Because most of the time I was walking around. You know.
Do you think for those who might get hard easily, like a linen pant would be preferred? Like a loose pant?
I don't think there's any preference.
Okay.
Leather
feels constrictive in that way.
Yeah, there was a lot of men wearing short thongs.
Okay.
That were seeking out all types of
We love
people.
that.
I had like black jeans on.
Okay.
I did get a boner in the fuck room.
How could you not?
How could you not?
That would be, if you didn't, we would have to study your brain a little bit.
There was a beautiful couple in front of me, blue lights. They were not having sex, but making out, and he was grabbing her, and I kept looking over at me, and I was like, oh my goodness.
Wow. There is something about being a voyeur that is so inherently, I mean, that's porn. We're watching someone else.
Totally.
Oh, this is so fascinating. So are you at liberty to talk about the swinging parents?
Yeah, I mean, I hope to God they don't hear this.
How did you find this out?
So,
like, are they open about it?
No, they wouldn't be happy if I was speaking about this. But I talk about my show. So,
okay.
So yeah, this all plays into, I think, me as a person and a magician. But I grew up, like I said, pretty much an only child. My siblings were older, right? Mm-hmm. And my parents would always go to parties and come back late, and it's always this weird kind of general sense of dread around my time as a kid.
Okay.
And my dad left when I was 6 for a bit, and it was all wild and chaotic, and then he came back, and I found some photos on the computer.
Not the photos.
When I was like 11, 12, of probably things I'd see at the sex party, but of my parents naked.
No.
You know, and that just
sent a chill down my spine.
Extremely traumatizing.
To see your own parents like that.
Yeah.
And this is no shade to the older community, but they were a little older at the time. So
they were a little older.
Might have been a little loose.
Yes. So they were a little older. You know, and I saw things my dad would write to other people and held it in for a year. And that was right when I had moved in the middle of middle school. And it was a really hard year. And I was doing a lot of magic.
Yeah.
I was trying to be, you know, trying to have something that was interesting about myself. And it was a really rough year. I was really angry. I was really lonely, depressed. My siblings were gone, and they wouldn't really listen to me. And they knew this was going on, but they were like, you know, I guess they just didn't realize how bad it was. And it got a lot worse when I was just me at home.
Right.
And then.
So magic was survival for you.
Survival. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It really was. And all of it kind of came out of the woodwork. And, you know, I will say my parents are completely different people now. Not saying that, I don't want to say that swinging is bad, but I think it was so confusing that we were these Christian family with a secret.
Yeah.
Those two things were just extremely confusing for me to wrap my head around.
Well, and turn up for swinging, but to see your parents doing it, that's tough.
Really tough.
Yeah.
They have really changed their lives as far as secrets go. You know, they're they're not swingers anymore. They're very much Christians and think that lifestyle was extremely sinful, which is interesting, right? So, and that was all very sinful life and bad. And because I think it would be one thing if I grew up with swinger parents who embraced sexuality,
Right,
and
who were open.
that'd be a completely different thing.
But they rebuked it.
Rebukes it, yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah. So that's how do you live like that as a kid? It was really confusing.
No, that's so tough.
So theater and acting or magic
was
all
escapism.
survival. Yeah, all survival.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And you just honed in and you became so talented, which is going to bring me to my next point. Can we see a trick?
Yes.
I'm scared. I'm nervous. What is it going to involve?
Yeah, I know. I didn't bring a deck of cards like a dumb idiot.
Oh, piece of shit.
Do you have your phone on you?
I do.
Can you bring it into?
Yeah.
She's getting her phone.
Hold, please.
Oh, sweet. 'Cause it's not as good if I use my phone.
We need mine.
Open
Okay.
up Safari or Internet Explorer. Open up
Okay.
Internet Explorer. Do you have Internet Explorer?
No. We do have just Safari.
That's great. Great.
We're
Go to a
locked
new
in.
tab.
Okay.
I don't want to see any of that history of yours.
Okay.
Can I use your phone?
Yeah.
I won't. You can. It's just Safari.
Okay.
I'm gonna Google. Oh Jesus. Sorry, I'm not used to it down here. You can cut this part out. Hold on. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna actually. Can we take a bit of a risk?
Yeah. I'm soaked. Yep.
I feel like gambling on the
Okay.
podcast.
Let's do it.
And you can always edit this out and start here.
Okay.
I want you to think of a celebrity,
Okay.
someone who is maybe a bit random, but that we would recognize still, right? So not like Brad Pitt, but someone a little more. Got it? And I want you to find, I want you to look for a photo of that person.
Okay.
You're going to search on Google here, just a photo, and find a photo that stands out. You can see the color of their eyes, the color of their hair, something about them that you can remember.
Okay.
Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you can just search it. I'll look away. Obviously, I can't. I don't. There's a mirror behind you, so I'll turn around. I'm turning around.
Okay. Okay. Oh God, I hope this is like niche enough. No, it is.
Oh, it'll be perfect.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
And you got it.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
And you can just lock your phone when you've got like a good
Photo.
idea of what that person looks like. Kind of
Yeah.
what they.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep.
Now I want to recognize there's a mirror behind you, but there's no way. I mean, look, the mirror. There's no way I could see.
There's no way.
You
Okay.
can put your phone down.
Okay.
Whatever. Perfect. So now it's just me and you. I just wanted an image.
Okay.
So we were playing like word association.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do the same thing with you.
Okay.
All right. And don't think too much about it. Try not to give anything away if I get close to like a category or something.
Okay.
All right. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yellow.
Brown.
Dog.
Cat.
Travel.
Trees.
Country.
Europe.
Food.
Mac and cheese.
Fire truck.
Red.
Say yes.
Yes.
Say no.
No.
I want you just to think in your mind, what type of celebrity this is. So like an athlete, a musician, an actor, something like that. Right?
Okay,
Just in
okay.
your mind, what type of celebrity this is.
Okay.
Do you have there's nothing to write on, is there?
Do you want to write on this?
Yeah. Do you mind? Do you have a pen?
Let me grab a pen. Ooh!
Okay. You're just thinking of the category.
Category.
Movies.
Yeah.
First letter is L.
Yeah.
Think of the full name right here. Think of the full name.
Okay.
Let's see. I think. Were you thinking of two people?
Just one.
But did you go in between it all or no?
There was someone that came to mind first, but I stuck on that.
I might maybe have the first one. I'm not totally sure.
Okay.
But I'm going to put the pen down. I've committed to it. I've written down the other side. Who are you thinking of? You can say it.
The first one?
No, the actual person that you landed on.
Okay, Lena Dunham.
Lena Dunham.
Yeah.
Flip over the piece of paper.
Dude! No.
What does it say?
It says Lena Dunham. There's no way. There's no way. How did you... Because you didn't look at my history. There's no way. My phone was here the whole time. What? So, okay. Is that like are you reading my like body language?
Can be whatever you want it to be.
Oh my God. That's wild.
Isn't that wild? Imagine that on a first date. I mean, can you?
You're getting laid within 20 minutes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Chills. Absolute chills.
And it's cool. You know, I think I used to do it for like, I guess you could say clout or just safety, but it's cool to kind of sit and watch someone react and think it is giving someone something for a moment.
Yeah.
Right? And that's cool. That's cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, we're going to end on this.
Oh, sick.
Now that I absolutely am soaked for the gods. What is one thing that you wish more people understood about magicians? Whether you like could debunk something or if there's a part of you that just wanted to be more seen or heard, like what is that thing that you kind of want like the lay person to know?
You know, that there's more to it than just top hats and bunnies. I think that is a big stereotype, that it is an art form that's unexplored in a lot of ways, I think.
Right.
And hasn't been fully explored. So I want people to know when they see a show like Chris Angel or something, because a lot of people won't meet many magicians in their lives, right? They'll just see one thing on TV, like that's magic.
Right.
That there is more. Not that that is bad, that Chris Angel's bad, but there is other things to it. There's other genres. There's other types of it, the art, right? Kind of like if you saw a ballet and it was the only thing of dance you saw. There's more types of dance. I
mean, this being one of them.
Well, and that was a little Vegas-y, but
shocked.
I had to get a little.
Wow. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to go masturbate to this. I'm just absolutely floored. I'm going to tag all of your socials.
Yes.
And we're just going to get the word out.
We won't share this with my parents.
Nope. And if you know his parents, you just keep that to yourself.
Please.
Don't be crazy.
If you're my siblings, please.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the sweet green.
Yeah.
Sorry that everything kept dying.
Oh, my fault. Well, let's go take a shit.
Let's go take a shit.
All right.
We're going to go take a shit.